I don't trust a middleware application that I don't have control of everything. Bridges. We've all seen these postcards. You look in a box and there's bridges. There's suspension bridges, regular bridges, old bridges, everywhere. So today I'm going to do a special topic on postcards that have bridges on them. I think you'll be surprised with some of the prices, but if you've been doing postcards for a while, you know some bridges can be pretty lucrative. Then I sold 17 postcards on eBay. I only sell on eBay now. I don't sell on Hip, Etsy, or whatever. I'm fully 100% eBay, and I got 17 cards we'll go through real quick on those. And then I did a poll. Do you use a cross-listing application? I hear all these different ones coming out. Flip, Vendu, List Perfectly. Forgot what some of the other ones are. I just wanted to see who uses, if someone uses a cross-listing application. And I'm not talking like Bonanza where you can hook your store up to that site, stuff like that. So I'll give you my opinion on that and we'll see what others have to say. And then at the end of the video, I always want to stick around for that, I have about 3 or 4 viewer comments, and all of these came basically from email. I think one of them came from YouTube. I'll answer those questions, or what I sent the answer to them. Now every month I try to pick a number. I go through and I say, okay, I want to raise my ASP this month, my average sale price. Or I want to raise my listing number. Or I want to lower my expenses. Or I want to increase my followers on the channel. I always try to pick one number to work on. And this month I picked a number. It's subscribers to YouTube. That's one of the basic numbers of a YouTube creator that does videos like I do and others, is the number of subscribers and viewers. Subscribers, the more subscribers you get does help it out, but that's not the magic number. The magic number, there really isn't one. The big thing is, do people watch your videos and for how long? That's the big thing. But subscribers get you up and the different things turn on and that. And I want to try to end the year, this year, at 2,000 or a little above. We've been growing steadily every month, but I thought this month, you know what, I'm going to push subscribers. So if you've been watching the videos and you are not subscribed, please go down there and hit that subscribe button. It would really help out the channel to get shown to more viewers. And it's real easy. Right down, I think on your side, if you right down here is a red button. You click that, a little box pops up, and you just hit subscribe. And that way in the future, any of my videos come out, you should get a notification if you hit the little bell and make sure you're notified. So when I put polls out, anything on the community tab, or anything going on with the channel, it'll automatically pop up on your home screen and you won't have to hunt for it. So subscribe. Thank you in advance. Now let's go over these what solds real quick. Won't take too long. Got a couple multiple orders here, but I did some bunch of international cards, and if you've been watching the channel, you know I don't do many international. And after doing them, now I know why again. Man, it just takes so long to list those. You gotta put them in Google Lens and translate them. But I ran into a batch of Australia, Mexico, and Egypt cards, and they just looked too good to pass up. And they were the next ones in the stack. I said, you know, I haven't done these in a while. There was like 80 Mexico cards. It was like 2 days of listing those. But guess what? I sold this one. This is the Mexico card. It's Mount or Zamba. I don't know, it's a real photo postcard. It sold for $4 to $5. It's from about 1920s. There's a little Azo box on the back. Azo means that's the stamp box. And if you go over to Ko-Fi and you got this little chart, you can get there. You can get the card for $1.50 that I'll mail to you, or you can download this little list here for free. And there's the link for Ko-Fi. But I looked at that, and I have an Azo stamp box. If you notice the little triangles on it, all 4 corners are pointing up. That list says it's certain dates, so I usually put it about circa 1920s. But I sold that card. Now, did I leave some money on the table? I could have. But with international cards, I'm not that worried about it. I got 8 to 10 cents in these cards, and if someone can get a few more dollars out of it, I wasn't going to do that much research. But I sold. That one moved. I was able to get that one out. And the same person bought another one. This was a pyramid, but it looks like a castle to me. I really didn't know. There's a lot of stuff popping up when doing these internationals. The names, and just the searching and stuff. But this one sold $5 to $6. It's an RPPC of some pyramid castle in Mexico. So both of those sold for $10.30 to that gentleman. So that was a pretty good deal for me spending the time to do a couple Mexico cards. But most of the Mexico cards were $5 to $6, I think, in there. The Egypts were about the same. There were a couple that were better. But let's see what this one is. And then I sold this one. It's an Egypt card, and this sold $5 to $6. So I sold 2 Mexicos and an Egypt card, and this is $5 to $6. It's a Shepherd Hotel in Cairo. I know nothing about Egypt, but it's got that real deco type stuff on there for the edges, kind of sharp like a sawtooth. But that's what it was. So $4 to $6, Mexico and Egypt. Or that's $5 to $6. The other ones were $10.30. So I got $15 for those. Then I sold a photo. This is a different type of photo. It's on real light paper and it's square. It's not the postcard size. And this is the USS Detroit. And I sold that one. There's nothing on the back. It just says USS Detroit right down here. Nice looking photo. So that sold for $8.55. Sold another photo of the Doyou, right there. Ship, $8.55. Then we get into these prints. USS French, $4.55. This is a publisher card. That's not like the print or the photo. This was purchased by the club. This is the USS Tattnall. I have a note in the box. I got like 30 listed, and I have a note that I got more in the closet, and I checked. I got like 4 or 5 cases, so I have hundreds of these cards, and I've sold some of these. But that's the Tattnall, $4 to $5. And this is another print, USS New Orleans, $4 to $5. Next one is kind of a large letter. I thought there'd be something with this, but it's too new. It's not a white border, it's a chrome. It's Greetings from Chicago. Kind of a neat looking card. And been on Compton and stuff, so it sold $4 to $5. Just not much in that one, more than sometimes you think you got something and nothing there. This is the Walnut Bridge from driveway of Fairmount Park. So we're talking in a special topic day about bridges, and this sold perfectly. Look at that. That's a bridge. Right there. And that sold $4 to $5. It's in Fairmount Park, Philadelphia. A bridge. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Next one here is 3 cards that sold for $19.95. Let's see what we got here. Lighthouses. I did a video on lighthouses. So this one is Montauk Point Lighthouse. There it is right there. Lighthouse. Next one is same one, same lighthouse. Just chrome cards. Got 20 bucks out of 3 chrome cards. And then same lighthouse right there. So they went through my store and found all the lighthouse for that name of that town or name of the lighthouse on there for $20. Not too bad. So since we did Egypt, we did Mexico, and then we did lighthouses, we gotta do dinos. This is the Wall's Drugs Dino. Anytime you get anything with Wall Drugs, make sure you look it up. That's the dinosaur, and that sold for $6. That dinosaur. It's not the Sinclair gas. It's the Wall Drugs. I've sold that dino a few times. And then we get into some couple bigger cards. This is the USS Lexington, Corpus Christi, Texas. That's a big continental card. And then it's the same one with the front shot of the bow of the ship pointed that way. And this is in Corpus Christi. It's a note. And these were publisher cards. They actually purchased these. These are really on good card stock. I sell those every so often. This is a print, but it's a semi-glossy on the front, but it's matted on the back so they can write. And this is the USS Seawolf, SS-197. $4 to $5. And we want to stop clowning around. I sell a clown. I've sold this guy a couple times before. He's the Mac or Weary Willie Emmett Kelly clown. It's just a chrome, so it went $4 to $5. So I sold him. This next card is another one of those from Mexico. And I'm not for sure who this lady is. When I did the comps, stuff was all over the place, and I was getting too much in a rabbit hole. I said, I'm putting it up for $8.65, and that's what it sold for. Her name is Neil James. I think there's something with her, but I wasn't going any further in the rabbit hole. So maybe someone's got a few more dollars on this thing, maybe a lot, I don't know, but I was able to move it and get it out of here and not get caught up in that. But that's an RPPC of some lady on a porch named Neil James in Mexico. And the last one is San Pedro Harbor, Los Angeles, California. Just a harbor, $4 to $5. It's one of those older divided back cards, really nice. Been in there maybe a year, a little less. But for the eBay total, that was 17 cards I showed you. Total was $121.29. The average sale to price is $7.13. So my average sale price is still going up, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to continue to go up over last year because I got rid of the toys. I'm slowing down some, I'm not listing as much and doing other things. So I got to increase that average sale price some, and that's why I don't do a lot of coupons, I don't do a lot of sales, I don't promote a lot, I don't do a lot of that stuff because I need to keep the sale price up. I want organic sales. If I have a strong, build my store with a strong organic sales, that means I'm not doing all that other hacks out there, the sales, coupons, and all this other stuff all the time to get sales, and I build a strong base with followers in the store, then my store can handle anything. And then when I do throw a sale on, it's just like a real sale. It's not just one out there. So that's my goal. It does take a lot of time, and you got to be able to sit back and let it happen. And that's what I've been doing for a while. So that's what sold. Now let's get into the special topic for today: postcards with bridges on them, or bridge post. When you do queries for bridge, it's kind of hard sometimes because you get the card game bridge, you get teeth bridge. There's a lot of weird stuff that pops up with some of that stuff, though. You just got to be careful when you're doing comps. It took me a little bit to get this one cleaned up to the best I can. But I'm going to go through and show you some postcards with bridges on them while I talk about some of the facts about a bridge. And this kind of falls in line of what I've been doing lately of common average cards or common topics that you see. I did post offices, I did banks, YMCA. It's all about the town, the state, the county, and the age of the card or what's on the card, if the bridge is still there. So you always want to throw these types of cards into eBay or WorkPoint. And when you do that, I don't look for the 50-cent thing. I look for outliers. If I throw bridge in Fairmount Park and I put that in WorkPoint and it pops up a lot sold for $20, $30, $40, and it matches my card, I'm definitely going to follow that path and get in that rabbit hole. If nothing really pops out except one sold and there's a lot listed and there's only one sold, or there's a lot listed and none sold, it's going to be a $4 to $7 card, $4 to $6 card. It's going to fall in one of my buckets. But when I look for outliers, or I look for the low ones like QSL cards, they're 2% sell-through rate. I don't even deal with them unless they're very ornate or older and stuff like that. But I don't see them that often. They're dead to me. I don't even really look at QSL cards. They're just not worth the time. There is ways to sell them, and that's lotting them up in small lots, like maybe 100 a piece, and put them out there. I've seen that. We've seen that done on one of the videos. But I'd rather do these cards and lot those up for the flea market or whatever. Now, a bridge is a structure carrying a road, a path, a railroad, or canal across the river, ravine, road, railroad, or other obstacle. So to get across to one side and another, they build a bridge. Common types of bridges include beam bridges, arch bridges, suspension bridges, cantilever bridges, truss bridges, and cable-stayed bridges. Bridge designs depend on their intended function, financial resources, and also the type of terrain where they are constructed. While an arch bridge might be suited for one situation, a suspension bridge might be suited in another. The Brooklyn Bridge in New York joins Manhattan and Brooklyn over the East River. When completed in 1883, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world. It remained that way so until 1903. It features average daily traffic of around 145,000 vehicles. Man, New York is just populated. The East Coast is. Nothing against it, it's just a lot of people out there. The Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, USA, is a well-known suspension bridge that was completed in 1937. It has a total length of 8,981 feet and features 80,000 miles of wire in its two main cables. We actually spent a week out there on Nob Hill. We stayed in an Airbnb not far, right up on Nob Hill, right by where that curvy, the most curved road in the world is, Lombard Street. And we would take the cable car down to the wharf in different places, and we walked around all of San Francisco. Then we took a drive over the Golden Gate Bridge, go to Muir Woods, and that was pretty neat to do. And then we actually, coming back, we went down right below the bridge on the other side from San Francisco. We ate at a restaurant right there by the bridge. It was nice to see that. And then we saw the fog one day coming through there and stuff through the Golden Gate. A covered bridge, timber truss structure carrying a roadway over a river or other obstacle, popular in folklore and art, but also major significance in engineering history. The function of the roof and siding, which is most covered bridges, create an almost complete enclosure. Now, this is where I learned something here. It is to protect the wooden structure members from the weather, not as much as people. It's to protect the bridge. That was interesting. When it was completed, the Mackinac Bridge was the longest suspension bridge in the world. Today, it is the 5th longest. Over 4,000 engineering drawings were created for the bridge design by over 350 engineers, as well as over 85,000 blueprints that were used during construction. That is just a lot to manage. The Mackinac Bridge Authority has an assistance program available for people that are afraid or uncomfortable crossing the bridge. So if you don't want to drive across it, and I know my daughter-in-law does not like going over that bridge in St. Clearwater, Florida, when you go over the Sunshine Bridge or whatever they call that, she did not like that at all. The assistance operates 24/7, 365 days a year, and is available for all types of vehicles and offers drivers to drive the vehicles for their owners. I think that's pretty neat. That's really helpful for people. The Arkansas Department of Transportation Historic Bridge Postcards. There's a little collection like I found on the hospital one. Arkansas Department of Transportation has a little collection they have online here, and here's the link for it right down here. And I'll put it in the video description as well, so you can go and see the bridges on postcards. But that's a few facts about bridges. Kind of opened my eyes, especially the covered bridge. It was made to cover the wooden bridge, to protect the bridge more than people. But how much are bridges worth? Postcards with bridges on them. Well, the sell-through rate, how I calculate it, is sold divided by listed times 100. There's 8,900 sold, divided by 160,000 listed on eBay. You times that by 100, you get 6%. And if you've been watching the videos for a while, that falls right in the middle of the average. So you bump that up against a few other postcards out there. Postcard Montana, 8%. Texas, 7%. Postcards with Rhode Island, 6%, and North Dakota 2%. So it's right there in the average. So bridges fall right in the middle. They're not the fastest move in the world, and they're not the slowest. The sell-through rate tells you if you get these cards, they will sell, but they're going to take a while. Now, doing sell-through rates doesn't guarantee you a sale. It just says they're better than QSL cards, and they're better than North Dakota. I would pick them up if you see any bridge cards. I always pick the bridges up. Same with dams, hospitals. I pick those up. Some of the bridges can be pretty surprising sometimes when you do that, like these. I've been sticking the highest pricing in here. Look at this one. $103.06. Must have had a coupon or something going on. Top rated seller. Do it in an auction. 4 bids. $2 shipping. $103. Lawyers Canyon Bridge near Idaho. RPPC, a photo postcard, $103. Yukon Bridge, Lisbon, Ohio train, vintage postcard, $95 plus $5 shipping, so $100 for that bridge. 1952 Shinnecock Canal Hampton Bays Bridge, Long Island, New York, $80. Those types of bridges with those structures like that go up like that with the metal structures, those always seem to do well. So you got 3 cards here, close to $100 average of bridges. Then we look at what the average bridges I put out there. Those were the higher end ones, and there's some real low ones as we'll see here in a second. But these are just what we see every day. Here, I got 3 here. The first one is a postcard Antioch Bridge. Not sure where it's at. San Joaquin River Victory Highway, California. It's in California. Nice yellow card. It kind of sticks out. That's going to stick out on the listing. $35. Next one is the bridge, Orr's Island, Maine. $30. Concrete bridge. I've sold this bridge before, but I never sold it for $30. But the concrete bridge, $30. So an average on the high average side is $30. But then when you get to the low, you got these people out there not making any money. Royal Gorge Suspension Bridge. I have seen so many Royal Gorge stuff out there. They're just $4 to $5 cards if I list them. $1.25. Arlington Memorial Bridge, $1.25. And this one's got a plane flying over the Golden Gate. It's got action. That's a $4 to $5 card. I've seen that card before. But stuff like that, you can get a few more dollars for. Now the next ones is the listed. And I always like looking at listed real quick just to get a good rounded picture of what people are thinking. These weren't as crazy as some of the other postcards we've seen. The Walden Bridge, Elise River, Oregon postcard, $75 or best offer. You have to go out and do your due diligence to see that, but I didn't find any supporting documentation for any of these comps out there. Next one is postcard George Washington Memorial Bridge, Seattle. That's a pretty common bridge, pretty common postcard. And the Whirlpool Rapids and Niagara Train Bridge, that's a pretty common card there in the Rapids. That is not a $52 card. I did not find supporting documentation for any of these. Will they sell? Maybe that one person, but it would probably be long tail. So you want to see what people out there. So if you have a Niagara Train Bridge card and you see this $52 one, go out and look for a few other comps. You never want to just take the highest, because that could be that one card at one time. I throw those out, I throw the low ones out, and I look at the average, and I go a little bit above average. I try to. Then you look at the listed low. Still got these people, 133, 154, and 159, all bridge cards, and we just saw they have a 6% sell-through rate. You can get $4 to $6 for these cards minimum. They might take a while to sell, but when you sell them, you're going to make some money, a little bit of money. And you sell a lot of them, you make more money. You sell a lot of them, you make a lot of money. So you want to make sure you're getting your time. Just don't race to the bottom on those. The sum up bridges, they're just like postcards, YMCA, banks, courthouses, post offices. Just take the title you create in eBay, drop it in WorthPoint or another window open on eBay, and just search and just take a look and just see if you're falling into that ballpark. So if you're pricing it at $455, $465, and you put it in there and you see some sold for $5, some sold for $6, some sold for $3, you know you're in the ballpark. But if you see one out there that's sold for $30 and it's consistently over $20, $30, and you've got the time to do it right then, you can go down that rabbit hole. Or you can just set it to the side and keep moving on and say, I need to do a little more due diligence with that card. And that's what I do. I don't stop my normal listing for normal average cards when I get something like that. A lot of times you'll go down a rabbit hole and spend a half hour there, and all of a sudden there's nothing but in the bottom of the hole, nothing. It's still a $4 to $6 card. I've been there so many times that I just go down that rabbit hole once, and I do a whole stack of them at a time to researching. But I wouldn't pass up bridge cards. I really wouldn't. I would pick them up. If you're looking for filler cards and stuff like that, especially RPPC bridges, take a look at those. If you can get those for a good price, I've sold a few that have been pretty good. That's bridges. Who knew? Okay, now we're going to get into a poll. And it gets in a little bit of a passionate thing with some people. They think it's the greatest thing on the earth, or they think it's one end or the other. I don't find the middle ground on this. You like cross-listing or you don't like cross-listing. I'm at the bottom. I do not trust it. I don't like it. I don't like the conversations. I don't like the maintenance of it, administration of it. So I'm at the bottom. I can't be swayed. That's where I'm staying. I don't do it. But do you use a cross-listing app? 9% said yes. 87% said no. And 4% other. So 87% of the people that voted are mostly postcard sellers. They don't use it. I don't think it's worth it for postcards. Now, clothing and some other things, some people are successful with it. I don't trust a middleware application that I don't have control of everything. So you got eBay sitting here, and then you got this other app sitting here, going out to, say, 2 different sites. They're taking everything off of eBay, goes in the app, and they're putting it on Poshmark, and they're putting it on Mercari. Well, if something sells on Mercari, does it go back to the app and delist it off the other ones? Well, I hear no. And if it does do it, people are still going over to check to make sure, because they don't want to have the conversations. If you list something on eBay, that's where you want it to sell. Do you cross-list it right away, or you just let it sit on eBay first? A lot of people say if they do sell the same item at the same time on 2 different sites, eBay always wins because of their rules, where the other ones are more lenient. It's just keep all that going. To me, it's not worth it. So say you got 100 items and you cross-posted them for $30 a month is what you're paying for the application. That's 10 cents an item. And it doesn't sell for 10 months. That's $3 just come off that item. And it just keeps going, and that's what Etsy did with their fees. Every 4 months it was 20 cents or 40 cents. It just kept going, and it just eats away at your profits and stuff like that. Now, some people are successful with these applications and they got a good routine and a system. I don't want to do that, but let's see what other people say. Now, Alex here said, I tried it and liked it. If they figure out how to delist the items that sold on other platforms, I'd renew my subscription, but until then, no thanks. So Alex doesn't want to deal with that either, that conversation. If something sells, so if I'm cross-listed between eBay and Poshmark, and it sells on eBay, when I'm paying for that application, it should tell Posh to take it down. If it sells on Posh, it should tell eBay to take it down, and I should get some kind of confirmation that it is down. But I would have to use it for a long time to make sure that I was confident of that. That's one thing that HIP did. It's the only time I did a sync is with HIP for years. It worked flawlessly until eBay did their fall update and HIP didn't keep up with it. And now it was just a mess. That's why I left. They didn't keep up their site. But one change anywhere, and that's a perfect example. eBay made a change. HIP that wasn't proactive enough to take care of it. And that's what can happen at all these sites. And that's what Alex said. He's going to wait until it matures some more. Thanks, Alex. And then Payne said, I'm retired and don't need the headache. He doesn't want to deal with the conversations either. Thanks, Payne. Then Karen, I can only do one task at a time. Not enough brain space left to figure out all the in and out and all the other stuff. So if you're on all these different sites, you've become an administrator of your business. And you not only have to worry about eBay and learn any changes they do and keep up with everything there. Now you have to learn and keep up with everything over there and over there and over there and over there. So you're on all these sites, but you got to keep up with all the rules and changes and shipping and all that stuff. I'm with Karen. I don't have the brain space left. But thanks, Karen, Payne, and Alex. Then Jackie says he's been researching the different apps, the cross-listing apps. However, the other platforms don't seem worth it. So he looked at the apps, but then he looked at the platform. And he's saying the platform's not worth it. I tried basically them all. Poshmark and Mercari, no. But Etsy, I did well for a while, but then they made changes. And you just started losing that. And the sales went down. And after a nice long trend, I said, I'm out of here. And now I'm only on eBay. It's really nice. When I walk in the morning, I just have to look at eBay, any rules. Boom, boom, I'm done. Done for the day. But Jackie hears of syncing issues, and that could lead to major issues, in my opinion. Yeah, issues and conversations. Sorry, sir, I had to cancel your sale. It already sold on another site. It's not my problem, it's someone else's problem. Just conversations that I really don't want to worry about. But do what you want. I think it works great for some people that learned how to management and work the other sites, but you're tied to it. My listings on Etsy and eBay were separate. I listed on eBay and I sold on eBay. The items on Etsy, listed on Etsy and sold on Etsy. They never crossed, so I was never worried about anything selling. But that's what people think of crowdsourcing. 87% of the people that sell postcards, no, they don't do it. Fewer comments. A lot of these comments, except for one, 3 out of the 4 came from emails. So I didn't put the names in there. The first one was, I was always wondering how you found postcards when they sell, with having so many listed on eBay. No, I know. Now I know. Thanks for a great video. So basically, they saw I'm over 40,000 listings, something like that now on eBay, which is a lot to some people. To me, it's just another box. In the postcard world, those postcard people understand how fast it can grow. And she was wondering how I'd find it, because if it's hard goods and stuff, it's some of that stuff. They have 40,000 pieces. You'd have storage units and basements and garage full of stuff. With postcard, it's all here in the office. But after I walked her, she saw the video about my little office walkthrough. If you haven't seen that, I updated it from the first one I did a year and a half or so ago, and stuff like that, because people kept asking me about what equipment I use and stuff like that, and they wanted to see my setup, and I'd take a picture. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to do a 360 walk through my office, and if anybody's got any questions or tweaks for me, they'll let me know. And she saw that, and now she understands how I can find my postcards. Is it the best system in the world? Probably not, but it works for me. Thanks. Then Biff Buffalo said he lived in Whoop-Ingers. Am I saying that right, Biff? Falls at one point. He lived near there, because that's at one town that I said I've done well with the cards. They've sold for pretty good money. Is Whoop-Ingers. I called it Whappingers. It's Whoop-Ingers. Local pronunciation, not Chicago pronunciation. I'm horrible with names, trying to pronounce stuff. But thanks, Biff, for letting us know that. Then another email question came in. I put my first claim in using the eBay envelope insurance, so the eBay standard envelope insurance, and wow, I got my money fast. Yeah, I got most of my money, if it's like during the week and stuff, it's less than 48 hours. I got my little $4 or $6 claim money into my PayPal account. Thanks for the video, it was easy. Yeah, watch this video here about getting your money back. I walked through the whole process and the status. I think I do a little overview of eBay standard envelope in there, but I go through the whole form on what to do and what to fill out. And I got one claim to put in this week coming up from back in January. They hit me, I think, a month ago. I still have a little bit of time, so I haven't put it in. It's only like a $4 one, but I got it on my list here to do. I'll go ahead and put that in, and it's $4 for this year. It's my first one of the year. Last year I've gotten back about $70 from last year's claims. But I haven't had to do any claims except for that one this year. So thanks, I'm glad it's working. And then I got this question. It's part of a longer conversation, but this was the one question inside there in the email that I pulled out. I didn't want to read the whole thing. It was spiraling off in different places. I only answered this part of it. The other stuff I didn't really know they were going, and they were asking for stuff that I'm not going to be able to talk about. It was like kind of out there in a different area than I do. So I wasn't confident in talking about it. So I just wrote back and said I do from the other stuff I really can't speak to. But this question here was, why do you do free shipping? You will have to refund the total if you get a return. So I thought about that for a second, and they're right. So if I sell a bread maker for $50 and I ship it for $20, it could be, don't go by the numbers, I'm just throwing them arbitrary out there. So $50 for a bread maker, shipping's $20. I mail it to you. You get the bread maker. It doesn't work. It doesn't make bread. It doesn't even turn on. So you return it. I'm going to refund you probably everything because it was a bad thing. That's what I would do. Some people wouldn't do the shipping. Now let's say I send you the bread maker and you said, oh, it doesn't look right on my counter. Not an item received or broken. You just said, I want to return this. And it's a buyer's remorse, basically, is what they call it. And you say, okay, but you're not, I'm not going to refund you the original shipping. So they ship the bread, you send them, they ship the bread maker back to you, and you get it back, and you just refund the bread maker item cost, not the shipping, because they were separate. Now, if you did free shipping on that, you'd have to refund $20 and $50. That's $70 to that, because it's not separate. There's no way in the tool, the refund tool, eBay's refund tool, to separate it, because it was just one cost. So, but before it was $50 and $20 for shipping, you can separate those. So she's asking, if I get a postcard returned, I'm going to have to refund the shipping. It's 60 cents. 84 cents. Plus, I don't get that many returns. I think my return rate this year is 0. No, I'm sorry. I just got that claim. So I have 1 return from the time this video goes live this year. 1 refund. So I'm not really worried about 60 or 84 cents. And doing the free shipping, it's just how I started it. It makes it simple. All cards, $4.65 free shipping. I don't have to worry about the shipping stuff. Customers don't have to worry. Does it give me anything special over the other sellers? I don't think so. I don't think I got any more search ranking or whatever they call the algorithm stuff because I'm free shipping. It's just the way I have all my cards set up, my shipping policies, and it just makes it easy. And they say, well, if the post office goes up, what are you going to do? Well, if it goes up a lot, say they go up 15, 20 cents, then I'll just go in and bulk edit the prices on my cards up a little bit more. But it's 60 cents. Now, if I have a higher price card that can't use eBay standard envelope or cost more, I do have a separate policy. So if I have a $30 card, I use the policy I call high price cards. I click that, then it's calculated first class or priority, whatever they pick. Most of the times, higher price cards, I will just ship them priority since I have nothing into the cards and stuff. But in first class I use a lot, but not often. Most of my cards are under $20 and stuff like that, and most of my orders don't go over $50. Those are the thresholds in there. So free shipping, it's just the way I do it. I don't think it gives me any extra pull. It makes it easier in my head, and it's just the way I started. But I understand what you're saying about not being able to refund the shipping. But I'm not worried about that. I don't get that many, and I'm not worried about 60 cents. But if it's a bread maker with $20 shipping, yeah, they're not good. I don't do when I did the toys and the hard goods and stuff like that for years. No, it was all calculated shipping, and it was totally separate. But with postcards, it just makes it easier for me on there. But thanks for all your questions. Keep commenting, and I'll put them out here. Just remember, if in YouTube, I consider them public. If they're an email, and you didn't say, I won't put your name on it unless you let me know. I consider it a little bit more private. But you can reach me at contact@SMPostcards.com. Right now, I'm able to get back to everybody that sent something. In the future, I plan to. But like I said, my number this month is subscribe. So if you're not subscribed, click the button here, hit the bell icon, and you'll get notified. And YouTube will get more people in here, so we get more comments to talk about. Subscribe. It's over there in the corner. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.